It's time for a Python video review. It's time for a Python video review.
Hey, Titan Zed here, back to do another video review, and this time going to be reviewing Transformers War for Cybertron Siege Battle Masters. Now this is the first wave that's going to be released. There's 3 of them. We have Lionizer, Firedrive, and Blowpipe. And I'm actually very shocked they kept the G1 name for him. Very shocked, honestly. These guys aren't half bad. I really like them. They're a little hollow, but with the engineering going into some of them, how they transform, I think the payoff is pretty good. Just to go over a couple of them real quick. Yeah, Blowpipe's doing a little bit of a warpath and has his handle on his chest, and it kind of looks like a cannon. It's weird, but it kind of works for him. I also really like the fact that, despite being minimally painted, they do actually get like full-on Autobot and Decepticon symbols placed onto them. So, like I said, they're a little hollow, but I feel like the engineering is still there. It's still worth the $5.99. And I really like him. I knew I was gonna like Firedrive, but he was very surprising for me. It was very much a surprise of the entire set. Or the wave, I should say. So yes. So, they also come with little effect parts, which will be more used in the gun mode, which we'll get to in just a second. And another little trick is that each of the, at least the 2 bipedal Battle Masters can actually wield the guns, use the main barrels, I guess you could say, for their gun modes on their arms. Now, these are pretty interesting. And I gotta say, it gives a play feature that I'm kind of wish that G1 had. He can also take his off too, but being he's a bipedal creature and he has no physical way of, or not bipedal, a quadruped, oh wow. Yeah, this is why I got a C+ in biology. He can't really hold it. It did look at some point his head was going to be molded with a hole through the mouth so he could kind of hold it kind of Ninja Dog style, but I guess they stopped. I guess they decided not to do that. Also, officially the instructions say to point the tail blade over his head, kind of like a Zoid with the gun pointing forward. Which looks interesting, but I think he looks more dynamic this way. I think he just looks a little more dynamic that way. And get him into the shot, Ed. But yeah. So, give me just a second, and we're going to get into their gun modes, and I'll show them off with some larger Transformers. Okay, real quick. I actually forgot to do this. I wanted to do a size comparison with Bludgeon, and I'm pretty sure I didn't do that. And there's another reason we got Bludgeon, but I wanted to show off. Now, if you can see on Firedrive, you see how that peg, it really makes the gun hang really far out from his arm. It's actually why I ended up picking up 2 Firedrives. Well, one reason is I'm going to have each version of my hot rod holding one, and the other reason is I wanted to modify one, and I actually ended up cutting the peg on this a little shorter. I actually ended up cutting it a little too short. So I'd recommend cutting just below how deep the gun sits in the peg. Just push it all the way in, then bring it out just a couple of gentle turns out, then mark with a marker or something, then cut. Because marking it right where it sits when the peg hits the bottom of the hole of the peg hole, a little too much, but not overly too much of a problem. But I like how the way I cut it, the gun just sits a lot closer to the arm than it does when you leave it in as when it was cut in the factory. And the one other thing I wanted to show off before I forget is that, like I said, you can take his weapon off. It can't really be held by him. Like you said, he doesn't have any way to hold it, but this weapon size is just about perfect for Bludgeon. Yes. It's actually made me very tempted to go find another one of these to pick it up, just to get this piece and recolor it into, I guess it was silver in the original version of Bludgeon's toy. But yeah, that looks really nice. I like that. So I'm probably going to end up doing that just so I can have this Bludgeon actually have a sword. But yeah, just wanted to show that before we talked about the full-on weapon modes. So I'll be right back in just a second. So here we are in their weapon modes, and oh my goodness, these are nice. They're not perfect, but dang, are they good. Each of them looks really good. I really love the effect parts. I'll have to say, out of the three, all of them are really good in their weapon modes. If you'd have to twist my arm and make me to pick one, I'd have to go with Firedrive just because I've always been a big Hot Rod Target Master fanboy. So, yeah. But each of them are just perfect, honestly. The effect parts look really good. I really do like Lionizer's effect parts, and where it gives it a very kind of almost swooshing motion, like you're swinging the blade down on an enemy. Looks really nice. I'm kind of disappointed that Blowpipes didn't come with a second bit for the second barrel, because I feel like they look like they actually molded something to actually fit it, but they just never made it. Which, oh well, what you gonna do? But Firedrive also looks really nice, and I got to imagine there's losing my brain, stop motion guys who are gonna love these effect parts for any firing scenes involving these little guys, or in his case, I guess, slashing scenes. But yeah, these are really nice. I gotta like it. I like the way they look on Transformers. I can't wait to get more. I hope they release all of the Autobot and Decepticon Target Masters in this new Battle Master format. My final thoughts is that these three opening waves for the Battle Masters are incredible. If this is the quality stuff that they're going to do for these Battle Masters, I can't wait to get more. And I can't wait to get my hands on the Micromasters as well. I want to see what they're going to do with those. Honestly, I cannot recommend them enough. Immediately go out and buy these things. If nothing else, for these two, you get two original Target Masters, particularly for at least this guy, you get for a Transformer we just recently got a figure for in Titan's Return, who didn't come with his original Target Master. So, definitely worth the money and time hunting them down. So until next time, this is Titan Zed saying I'll see ya when I see ya.